In a recent video, I spoke about a board-certified psychiatrist, Dr. Richard Gallagher, who became a believer in the real-life effects of the occult when he was introduced to a satanic high priestess by the name of Julia. If you're not familiar with the story, you can check it out in my video titled Watch and Pray. In this video, I will speak about some of the things that Dr. Gallagher experienced while dealing with Julia and show how they relate to satanic gang stalking and occult harassment, which are only two forms of covert harassment. In the first instance, Julia bragged about Dr. Gallagher's cats fighting the night before they met, an incident that she really shouldn't have known about, since this took place inside Dr. Gallagher's home. What Dr. Gallagher experienced here was a mild form of occult harassment. Julia bragging to him about this unpleasant incident which took place in his home that she really shouldn't have known about is a tactic that is very frequently used by gang-stalking demons to harass targets. It's important to understand the abilities that Julia demonstrated, which allowed her to know certain specific details regarding the personal life of Dr. Gallagher, and other people for that matter, were not her own abilities. These were the abilities of the evil spirits possessing her and working through her. Folks, this is exactly the way satanic gang stalking is done. In fact, many targets complain about this very same thing. What happens is gang stalking demons possess certain people that come around the target. These same possessed people then proceed to talk about certain personal things that are happening in the target's life that they really shouldn't know about. One can easily see how a person who's experiencing this type of harassment constantly and who doesn't know about these psychic abilities can start to think that they're being monitored by the use of surveillance equipment or other forms of technology, especially if that's what's being suggested to them. Now, while this type of harassment is taking place, the whole surveillance equipment narrative is being shoved down the target's throat. This is to get the target to start to tell people that they're being monitored and surveilled, which will make the target sound crazy to everyone around them. That's the goal. In fact, many targets have torn their homes completely apart, sheetrock and all, looking for cameras and microphones, but they never find any because the information regarding their personal lives is being accessed through occult practices. In an even more amazing display of psychic power, Julia demonstrated to Dr. Gallagher her ability to remote view when she successfully described the location of a priest who was 100 miles away from them at the time, with astonishing detail, I might add. Dr. Gallagher referred to this priest as Father Ray. Now, the only reason Father Ray wasn't alarmed when he spoke to Dr. Gallagher, who described his exact location, what he was doing, the clothes he was wearing, down to the colors of his clothing, was because Father Ray already knew that Dr. Gallagher was with Julia, who has remote viewing capabilities. Now, I want you to put yourself in Father Ray's position for a moment. However, you don't know anything about remote viewing or any other psychic abilities. Imagine going somewhere by yourself. You receive a phone call. The person on the phone then proceeds to tell you your exact location, what you're doing there, the types of clothing you have on, and the colors of the clothes that you have on. You may very well start to think that either this person followed you there, or this person has someone there who's watching you and relaying this information back to him. Any level-headed person can clearly see how such a mistake can be made in this situation. Now, these are some more examples of spiritual phenomenon that are done in satanic gang stalking as well. In another example, Julia told Dr. Gallagher that she knew his mother had died from ovarian cancer. Again, a fact that she really had no business knowing about, but she did. Also, during a phone conversation with one of the priests, Dr. Gallagher was interrupted by a demonic sounding voice, telling them to leave Julia alone and that she was theirs. The priest, who also heard the voice, informed Dr. Gallagher that yes, evil spirits can also interrupt their phone conversation. This is true. Many people don't realize that they can mess with electronics as well. In another case, Dr. Gallagher helped a woman who would develop mysterious bruises all over her body. These bruises were being caused by spiritual attacks. Again, many people don't realize that spiritual attacks can mimic physical attacks, which can show up as bruises, cuts, and they can even mimic sicknesses, which are usually caused by directed energy weapons. I want to share a conversation that I had on social media with a young lady who is a target of satanic gang stalking. Understand, I don't agree with what she says at the top in regards to the brain implants. However, she is correct when she lists the things that they know regarding the target's personal life. It's not magic. You have a brain implant. It was a government secret, but now it's not. That's how you're being tracked. GPS via the implant signal. That's how people repeat what you've said even when alone in your house. That's how they know what places you frequent, what shows you like to watch, what music you like to listen to, what food you like to eat, what type of pets you have, what type of relationship you're in, and what y'all do or don't argue about. There are several groups of people that have access to the neural network, which wasn't supposed to happen, but hey, anything technological can and will be hacked. That's how they know how much is in your bank account, what your passwords are, where you hide stuff, if you've done that, as a way to try to protect other valuable things. Again, I must reiterate, I don't agree with this young lady in regards to the brain implants, the GPS signals, and the people of the neural network. The things that they know about the target are generally known through occult practices. Now, there are two main ways that gang stalking demons can access personal information about their targets. The first way is through remote viewing, and the second way is by the use of monitoring spirits. Monitoring spirits are real demons, and they do just as their name suggests. They monitor everything the target says and everything the target does. They then relay the target's personal information psychically to a person who will be used as a satanic gang stalker to harass that particular target. This is one of the main ways that the target's personal information gets repeated back to him by complete strangers.